Welcome to Pure Nintendo's, I don't want to say first ever podcast, we've done a few before, but
first
sequence of podcasts hopefully become. There's a lot of news we can talk about, so it's hard to choose exactly what to talk about. But I want to start with a hot topic that's going on today, that Capcom has canceled Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah, what a bunch of crap.
Yes, it's a really long story. Capcom canceled it, but it's a game that Capcom, I don't actually know that much, that they wanted fans to create, or fans' input in creating, and apparently it wasn't enough.
Fan reaction to
fan reaction, so they canceled it, but the game actually looked pretty good. And then there was a Twitter battle on Twitter between Capcom Europe and some fans. It sounded like Capcom Europe was blaming fans for the cancellation.
Yeah, it's always sketchy when companies get involved with Twitter and Facebook.
They should not coming back. Twitter, they just still announce things, not to communicate. I know the Twitter world's big and everything now, but
it's
a fine line you gotta walk.
Absolutely, you can't treat a company like it's a personal Twitter account, and
exactly,
it's all about PR, responding to maybe positive things or doing twists on negative things. So it's not like you should never feel like you're attacking fans or. I don't know. So like I said, it's a fine line.
One of them, people were like, "Oh, I hate you. I'm never gonna buy any of your games again." And then the response from Capcom was, "Thank you for your input."
Yeah,
that's it. Just leave it. Just let fans rant.
Yeah,
ignore it.
Nothing good can come from that, especially whenever, even if you delete a comment, it's already spread across the internet. So
exactly, even if Twitter, the internet is written in stone. What do you think about the cancellation? Do you think they should bring it back, or?
What do you mean bring it back? Like,
because there's been reports that Capcom, it may not be dead. They may give it to someone else, or someone else.
Oh, because of the negative reaction, or
I don't know if it's because of the negative reaction, or that was a plan all along.
Oh, that was plan all along. If that was a plan all along, they should announce it soon, because the longer it takes, the worse it's going to get for them. But I mean, definitely, I think anytime you have fans angry over a lost game, sure. Give them what they want. Shut them up.
All right, now the next hot topic the last few weeks is Project Rainfall.
Yes, it's a bittersweet thing.
My question is, you personally, how many of those games would you buy from Last Story?
The Pandora's Tower.
And
is it Xenoblade or was it
Xenoblade?
I mean, I'd probably buy 2 out of 3.
I would buy Xenoblade for sure. The Last Story and Pandora Tower is a little weird. They're different. They're Japanese, obvious movies.
Yeah,
but that's my fears. If they do get over here, and if they don't do well, Nintendo's gonna be like,
yeah. That's the chance that you take. Is it better to have that positive reaction from people? And maybe take a loss on a game, or just not even send the game over here. But as far as Amazon, it reached number 1. Which one reached number 1 on Amazon?
Xenoblade.
That's already partially paid, right? That's not like pre-orders. So that's something. I don't know if that will direct in 100% sales if people cancel whatnot, but I think they should release it.
At least Xenoblade.
Really, if this was 3 years ago in Nintendo, I necessarily wouldn't see them release. But right now, everyone is starving for another Wii game, something to sink their teeth into, and there's just not much out there. So it's like, why not? You already have these games made, work on translations, and
because the only Wii game we have on the horizon is Skyward Sword.
Yeah, and Kirby. I know, but
I don't know if I honestly buy Kirby.
Oh, really?
Kirby and Yarn was nice.
Yeah.
But that was like a year ago. And it's basically the same thing, but not Yarn.
Well, if you have superpower, it's like classic Kirby, though.
It's true, but
I don't know, I'm pretty excited. But I know what you're saying, some epic first-person game.
Yes, and that could be a good segue into that comment was made by, these are minor game developers, like they weren't anyone you can buy, but saying that gamers are losing patience with 10-plus hour games.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So he's saying that gamers don't want games that are longer than 10 hours?
Yeah, they just want those, Medal of Honor, it's like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Gears is 10 hours. And
Yeah.
there's like those shooter games and people don't have the patience to play 20, 30.
Yeah. Then let me ask you
40
why
hours.
people play Zelda, Mass Effect, the Skyrim.
Or even if you go into the MMO, people play
Oh yeah.
play 100 something hours on World of Warcraft or whatever.
Even coming from Weave, the longest time there's no games to really sink your teeth into for more than 10 hours. And I remember talking to many people, they're like, where are those games where I can play day after day and get lost in the story and gameplay, and they just weren't there. And so that proves right there, gamers want that stuff, and I don't know why that guy said that. What do you remember what company he's from?
Well, it was a bunch. It was a panel somewhere. I didn't.
I'd be curious to see what type of games he wants if he's just trying to promote his type of game, because if that's true, then...
Because for a long time I've been looking for that. Because for me, part of me still plays games to escape, to enjoy. Because, after a long day, like, for me, coming home and playing Halo Medal of Honor, that's a tense game. I want something I can dive into, get away from the world.
And save princesses.
Save princesses or something. That's why I'm really excited for Zelda. I'm excited for the Zelda game. It's another game I can actually dive into and enjoy for 30, 40, 50.
Yes.
You can go up to 100 hours if you want to do everything on Zelda.
Oh, yes.
So that's why I'm most excited about that. And recently I got LA Noire, and that's close, but it's still nothing I can really... Even though that's a multi-hour game, 20, 30-hour game, it's still not the best.
Well, there's something, too, even... And not all games like Zelda, you can get lost exploring. You can get lost doing side quests that's not even part of the main story. And that in itself could take over 10 hours in itself. So to say gamers don't want that, aren't looking for it anymore, I think it's ridiculous, because just look at sales of those type of games.
And like, when's the last time we had one of those games? Like, there's been a lot of Medal of Honor, those 10-hour...
Yeah.
I mean, each time we play Call of Duty,
not
Call of Duty, we beat it 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
Gears of War is the same way, 8 to 10 hours.
And honestly, so is Bioshock.
I
love those games.
That's a great story. That's the thing of a great story, but yet again, it's only 8 to 10 hours. And so you don't give us really an opportunity to dive into a game 20, 30. Like, Metroid Prime 3 was, 20 hours for me.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 3 was a lot, especially if you want to 100% it.
Yeah.
Which I never did.
Yeah, I think I got like 70% in 20 hours.
Yeah.
If I want 100%, it could be pushing 30 hours or something. And
yeah.
That was a nice game. That's what I enjoyed about it. But since then, there hasn't been much, especially on Nintendo's.
Yeah, Nintendo's, I think the last hardcore, lengthy game... Epic Mickey was actually really good. I sank some good time into that.
That's true.
But that was 8-9 months ago.
Man. I'm
trying to think. Anything this year? I know there's got to be something I just can't think of.
Well, looking at my...
I'm trying to look at your Wii games right now. Conduct 2 is pretty short, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, see, the Conducts, they're nice, but they're 10 hours, 8 hours.
But that was still a fun game to play.
It was a fun game to play.
But I don't know if there's any...
What did you... Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter. That is a cool game. You guys should all buy that.
I actually haven't bought
We'll play it live. That is a long game. Although I've only probably played 15 hours, and
But there's a lot of online stuff, like before that MMO type feel or whatever you want to go into.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there's so much exploration in the game, so... I don't know. Well, I don't know what that guy was saying, but...
I think he's just going off this casual things exploding and...
Yeah, well, it's like, I don't want to get too much into this, but the Angry Birds developer, the guy in charge of that, was saying that consoles will be dead soon because everyone wants to play phones on their mobile devices, which is just ridiculous. A fully fledged Zelda game on a console will never beat, a handheld game that's not Zelda.
This isn't on my list of topics.
I said that wrong. Zelda on the big screen will always be better than any handheld not Zelda. Anyway,
this is. I've been trying. I've actually started writing this article like 5 times, and I just can't get it out in written words. So I'm going to use this to talk about it now. It's a comparison between.
Is that lazy? Or?
A little bit of both. A comparison between. People saying that, Apple or whatever handhelds, Androids are affecting the gaming market.
Yeah.
They are absolutely 2 different things.
Yeah.
They are, no pun intended, comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah.
And I have an iPhone, you have an iPhone, I've got 20-something games on here.
Yeah.
But I don't sit here and play a game for any more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when we were coming back from E3, we were sitting at the airport. Me and you were both playing. You were playing on the iPad, I was playing on my iPhone, and I mean, then on the plane ride when we had more time to sit there, we pulled out our 3DSs because you never, at least not in the next anytime near future, there won't be those big epic long games like
especially with no buttons.
Yes. So if you know games like Ocarina of Time or something, there's a few of them, but they're not. Once again, they're like 2 or 3 hours long.
Yeah, and I find it fascinating that people are talking about, well, gamers want to play games on their iPhone on 3DS. I don't necessarily think that's what hurting sales, if they're hurting at all. I think it's the fact that I spend a lot of money on my iPhone. I'm already carrying something around.
Exactly.
Why spend more money on another device right now when this can hold me over? And I'm not saying this replace it, but I can see people justifying it for price and carrying. I don't think it has anything to do with games, because these games, while there are some cool games, there is no Phantom Hourglass, there is no new Super Mario Brothers, no Mario Kart, nothing on this that even compares. So I think saying that the games are better or people are going to... No, I just don't. I think that's a ridiculous argument.
Yeah, like Angry Birds is a great game. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it.
I played a lot of that game
before class. Sometimes you sit there and you just play level 2, try to play level 2, and then be done with it.
Yeah.
But in Ocarina of Time, when I want to take some time, I lay there on my couch and just play a couple hours of Ocarina of Time or whatever, and it's hard to compare. You can't
really
compare.
Is.
Maybe it is affecting it, but I don't think. Like I saw the stat where they're saying that. It showed that Apple wasn't necessarily taking more of the market share. It was Apple, percentage-wise, of handheld gaming went up more than 3DS-type gaming, like purchases and stuff like that. And fault in the statistics is that Apple gaming just took off recently. I don't know I'm going with this. I'm going to cut that part out.
All right.
All right, so the next thing... back to the 3DS. Have you gotten any of the new 3DS features, like Netflix?
I got Netflix, yes.
What do you think of Netflix?
I actually like Netflix. It's cool to watch, although, unless they get 3D movies, I find it hard to use a lot of Netflix, just because, I hate to say it, we just talked about this, but I have my iPhone.
Exactly, and it looks better, because with the Retina display, it does look actually a little bit better.
If you have an iPhone 4, James.
That's true.
I have a 3GS. Shut up. No, but it looks good. It takes a little bit to load, I've noticed. A little longer than I think my iPhone app, but still, it's pretty cool for those that don't have that feature.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of bugs. People are saying it crashes a lot. I haven't used it enough to notice, but it crashes
I just watched a few X-Men shows.
Alright, Kevin, have you downloaded the Nintendo Video feature?
Well, James, I have not.
Neither have I, to be honest.
No, I've been pretty busy. I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but it doesn't sound what I've read on the internet, which may or may not be true. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of content yet.
Yeah. And
so I'll get to it eventually. It just...
Yeah, there was nothing that would be like, oh yeah, I want to go check this out now. There's nothing. Like, because there's something from College Humor.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of that's on there. There's something...
I think there's a couple more videos, but still it's... I'll download it, but to me it's not a draw that I would check very often. And
like, I remember I saw the announcement when I came back from Captain America Friday morning, and I was just too tired to do it then. And then on Friday, I was just kind of lazy, and I didn't want to do it on Friday, and now it's Tuesday, and I still haven't done it.
Yeah, Captain America was last weekend. I guess you go see that movie.
The game is alright. Not very good.
You say the game is alright, but not very good?
Yeah.
Sounds like a great game.
So anyways, moving on to 3DS, there's been a lot of games that are pushed back, and we found out sometime in the last 36 hours that Solid was pushed back, which I'm okay with because it wasn't very good at E3. I didn't enjoy it at E3.
I'm still hoping they're like, we lied, it's not delayed. Or, James, I'm just going to wish that.
Well, I'm okay with the delay, but everything else has been delayed, like,
or canceled. Freaking Assassin's Creed.
Says the Creed cancels, or was it Sega's, those two titles? I can't remember those two titles.
I'm not.
Shinobi?
Oh, Shinobi, yeah.
And then that Mine Crash, whatever, something. Both of them has been pushed back because the 3DS hasn't sold very well.
Yeah, which, that's a problem. We need more games. See, Metal Gear Solid 3D, I'll probably get it. Playing E3, it was I've never really played those games, so I didn't really know. It was pretty fun.
The controls are very
The controls are kind of weird.
horrible. I'm gonna say it. They were horrible.
They're just different. But I just want more games so people will buy the 3DS. I'm tired of going around and nobody giving me the Street Pass.
And Call of Duty, not Call of Duty.
Call of Duty?
Yeah, Call of Duty.
3DS? Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah, it's not coming. Modern Warfare 3 is not coming to the 3DS or the DS. And did you play the DS version of last Modern Warfare?
No.
It really wasn't that bad. I think it was actually a pretty good game, and I was excited to see what it would do for the 3DS. But now that's just kind of like we don't want to worry about it at all.
Yeah, we need a Pokemon game to push it forward.
Or Battlefield 3.
Yeah, that would be
And
cool.
remember that Battlefield 3 is coming to 3DS, which would be.
I would curious to see how it looks.
And I hope enough people would buy it so you could play it online. Because Battlefield is more of an online game, definitely, and so it'd be cool.
It'd be really cool, a 3D war game like that.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Because how it works with Battlefield's kind of a massive open world game.
Yeah.
More open than the other ones online.
Yeah, if they did, it would be nice if they had like the rush mode, so they had like Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. I have a feeling. Like everything on Nintendo systems, they cut features. But hopefully not. Hopefully not.
And then 3D explosions and bullets flying in.
It would be
That would be.
a rush.
Yes.
It's a very slow-paced podcast.
Anyways, I want to talk briefly, because I know when we mention gamers and anything to do with sports, they really don't go hand in hand.
Yeah.
There's a few of us out there that enjoy Madden, and then the lockout finally ended after a million years, and NFL's back. And I want to talk briefly about how that's going to affect Madden. Because Madden's supposed to come out the 20-something of August, so less than a month.
Yeah.
But the problem is that there's going to be a lot of changes in the NFL. And Madden and EA with Madden tries to be precise, try to be most up-to-date with the rosters and make everything like an actual NFL, the rules, the roster, whatever. And so first of all, there's a lot of changes to the rules. Not a lot, but there's a lot of changes with free agency and stuff, so that has to be implemented into the game. I guess they can add that in an update later, but the rosters are going to change dramatically. Because they have free agency, which is something where you can trade players or free agents can be courted by different teams, so free agents could leave one team and go to another. And that process is usually 5 months long. It starts about in March, and it goes to about July. Well, that's being pushed into 2 weeks. And so this next week, if anyone follows NFL, there's going to be, like they said, there could be 100 changes in players, maybe even 1,000 changes of players moving around. And all that changes has to go into Madden within a month.
So do you think they're going to be able to do it, or they'll do something like put their educated guesses and do a patch later on?
I don't know. Like, because then the teams, like if some team picks up a number one high caliber cornerback, the defensive ranking, they would have to adjust the defensive ranking scale, make their levels higher and stuff, and so that has to be changes too. The adjusted of team rankings.
So do you think they'll delay it?
I don't think they'll delay it. Well, they're not going to delay it.
Oh, they have. They said they won't.
Well, I don't think they could. But Madden's been out every August for who knows how long, and so I could see them doing some more within like a patch later on.
Yeah.
But like that's just a lot of work that has to go in. So I'm curious. If anyone can pull it out, it would be EA.
Yeah, it'd be
Sports.
interesting to see what happens.
But it's just a lot of changes that have to. I was going to write something up about that, but Kotaku beat me to it. Sure.
I may have saved you time. No, but it will be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, because and if anyone follows football, it's been a crazy 2 days already. It's going to be even crazy next 2 weeks. So this next section, we're going to put a spoiler alert. And this is a spoiler alert. Someone signed a name. So we're going to talk about Skyward Sword, and this may be a spoiler. For me, it's not, but it may be for you.
Yeah, if you're trying to keep away from Zelda, then it may be. But I mean, it's pretty common knowledge now. But
So we're going to skip. I'll go like this. So if you're just skipping forward, don't wait for me to go like this when we're done talking about it. All right, so it's been stated that Ganon will not be
in the game.
Which would be the first time in a 3D home console that Ganon's not in the game.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, Majora's Mask wasn't in there.
Is he not?
Mm-mm. Because that's like an alternate.
Oh, well, that's different time.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But for a full, especially one that goes back to the beginning of things.
Yeah, it's supposed to be before Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, you would think, but and it's pretty interesting. He let it slip.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not slip. He wanted to tell us, but that Ganon will not be in there. Because I was kind of hoping that Ganon would be in there, but not necessarily as a villain, but like an anonymous villager that you may just have brief interactions here and there, but it wouldn't even be pertinent to the story until one day you realize that was Ganon, and then mind is blown.
Yeah, because at the beginning of Ocarina of Time, we're introduced to Ganon, and he already rose to power to those people out in the desert, what they call it. But he's already rose to power, and he has somewhat power already.
Yeah.
How did he get all that? And so that'd been interesting, seeing that this was before Ocarina of Time,
Yeah.
seeing maybe a little mentions of, like maybe he, like you said, he was in the town, and maybe he causes trouble or something, they kick him out, and he goes and creates this other town or whatever, joins this other group, this nomad group, whatever, and becomes what we know we're introduced to in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. There's still so much about Skyward Sword that we don't know, and it's pretty exciting. But the one thing that drives me crazy is we still don't have a release date. It's coming up to August, and I'm ready to...
Well,
No, it's not going to Wii U, James. It's not going to Wii U.
But like, it's gonna be a lot longer than I was hoping. I was hoping it'd be early, because it could still be early September. But
It'll be November.
it's gonna be November or later, because I think in that same thing we found out about Ganon, they talked about how the game, how Miyamoto is looking over the game, but he still hasn't finished looking over the game. So it could be, who knows, another month of him looking over the game and be like, okay, things are on. Or he could just look over the game and be like, you know what, screw all this, let's change it. Which Miyamoto's known to do.
Yeah.
And so that could happen. And then they have to localize it, which could take, I heard, up to a month, going back to the Xenoblade and all that stuff with localization. So...
No, I agree. It better not
It's
go to
gonna be a
2012, just because that is the only thing I'm really excited for Nintendo, other than Kirby. But I'm excited for Kirby, but I want something.
It could very easily go to 2012.
Don't talk like that.
Or very easily go to Wii U.
It's not going to Wii U.
Which I'm still adamant about.
I don't think it'll go to Wii U. Now, you could very well be right. I just don't think it will.
Because we had the same thing with Twilight Princess. Like, oh yeah, we're almost done. 2 years later.
but Twilight Princess was a whole different ball game because the Wii looks so similar to the GameCube.
That's true, but...
And especially, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't want that to happen. Because what I want to happen is they're working on Skyward Sword, but they already have some teams working on Zelda Wii U. Because I don't want them to put more people on Skyward Sword for the Wii U than needs to be.
Exactly.
And also, Zelda Wii U better not come out 5 years after the launch of Wii U. That's a bunch of crap.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nintendo has stockpiles of cash just laying around, start throwing it toward development, and I could be imagining all this. But I want Zelda in like 3 years. I know that's ridiculous.
I'm with Zelda at launch.
Yeah. Well, it may happen if Skyward Sword is there. Well, you can. You can play Skyward Sword on your Wii U. Just the Wii game.
I may wait, no, I won't wait. But yeah. That new trailer for Skyward Sword looked fantastic.
It is great. It's awesome. We still... a lot of the trailers have a lot of recycled footage now. There's some cool stuff in this new one, such as the Goron. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool. They're actually going to be...
Remember, you noticed something about the statue.
Oh, yeah. On the statue, it's cool. It looks like you can actually be on the... Is she holding up a...
She's holding something. She's like this or something.
Anyways, it looks like you can actually stand on top of the tower. It looks almost like Zelda and Link are up there because their two birds are flying around. And so it's interesting. They showcase the statue quite often in the trailer. I'm not sure if that will be something prominent like the clock tower and Majora's Mask or anything, but it's pretty Nintendo's little cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
It comes to Zelda trailers. But no, I want more Zelda info just because I'm tired of waiting.
Maybe we get some at Tokyo Game Show. But then again, that's in September, and they could announce it for November.
Nintendo's probably going to be like, one morning, Tuesday, 11 a.m., press release, coming out in November. Like, no, make an event.
I really wish Nintendo would be like Apple. in the sense of
Watch yourself now.
in the sense of.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Spoiler over. I wish Nintendo would be like Apple in the sense of, hey, here's a game, check it out in 2 weeks, or here's the next thing, check it out in 2 weeks. I hate this waiting.
So wait. See, we should announce Skyward Sword and let it came out 2 weeks later.
Yes, and be like,
Well, but
at Tokyo Game Show, be like, okay, here's a more like, okay, it's gonna be out at the end of September or early November.
Yeah.
Instead of.
So we skipped October.
October, what is that? September. It's early October. Instead of saying the worst fear of here's Skyward Sword. Oh yeah, we're about to we're localizing it. It'll probably be out in February or March. So.
Yeah, well, Nintendo's saying they don't. I remember back in the day, a few years ago, they're like, we don't want to announce stuff and have them wait years for it. Well, then don't do that with Zelda.
That lasted almost exactly a year.
Oh.
Then I'm saying we don't announce things 6 months in advance or whatever.
It actually all comes down. It's not even Zelda's fault. It comes down to there's just nothing to play on my Wii right now.
Exactly.
Like they got, like you said, 3DS. They're gonna stop doing where we have droughts for 3DS games. But look where we're at. We have a drought. And I know. Ocarina of Time just came out. I know Resident Evil just came out. Resident Evil, that's a game I can play for about a week or two and be done. But like, I'm ready for at least a good game to come out every 2 months, if not more.
Like when's the next?
Star Fox coming out in September.
Yeah.
And that's all I think we know for 3DS. But they say Mario 3DS and Mario Kart 3DS are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kid Icarus still coming out this year, or is that 2012? And by the way, that should have been a launch title on Nintendo.
That should have been a while ago.
But, I don't know, I'm just ready for games to come off more frequently. I know that's...
So your most anticipated 3DS game?
Oh, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart?
Absolutely. Mario Kart DS, even Mario Kart, even Double Dash.
Exactly.
I played so freaking much.
And I think that will sell systems. And I'm gonna call two people out that help us out every once in a while. Leo and Eli both own 3DSs.
Yeah.
But they both said they're waiting for more games like
Yeah.
Mario Kart to come out. And
Yeah.
Theo especially Mario Kart. And so Theo, you better be getting a 3DS soon because Mario Kart's coming out.
Yeah.
But I think that would help sales of the 3DS. Because in my opinion, they're not bad.
What?
3DS sales.
Oh, no.
In retrospect, they're not bad because people were trying to compare them to the DS sales, but when the DS came out, there was no competition.
Yeah.
Because the PSP wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
And so Nintendo kind of had to run with everything handheld.
Well, and it's actually not fair because the DS first sales weren't that great, but like I said, there was nothing to compare it to. Where 3DS, we're all comparing it to the Wii to the 3DS.
Yeah.
I mean, 3DS to the Wii and DS. And when you compare anything to anything else that's already out, it's always going to be either positive or negative. There's no just, it's doing good, and it just happens to be negative.
Yeah.
And so I still think 3DS will sell well, but it may not be for... It'll sell great. It may not sell great for another few months to a year, but it'll get there.
Yeah, and it's coming to an environment where it's already other handhelds. Like, there's the PSP, which doesn't sell great, but yet it takes some away from the DS. Because when the DS came out, that's all you had. If you wanted a handheld system, you got the DS.
Yeah.
And then soon after, I guess PSP came out. If I get that right, I don't remember exactly when PSP came out. But I think it was.
After DS.
It was after DS. And so, and plus PSP had a higher price tag.
Yeah. Which is interesting. People are like PSP. PSP sold a crap ton of handhelds.
They did.
I guess don't quote me up to somewhere around 60 million. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's compared to DS. No, that's terrible. And it may be close to 80. I don't know. Yeah. But still, that's awesome.
So I think the things that affecting is that there's already other, like the PSP's already out and the new PSP Vita's coming out. And yes, iPhone's already out. And so I think it does affect a little bit. I don't know. Well, we already talked about that. But anyway, so there's more competition for the 3DS.
And with Vita coming out, a $250 price point is really...
Because the Vita games look nice. They do look really nice.
Yeah, anyways.
Okay. One last thing. I think the thing that affects me is people are like, I don't like 3D. Turn the 3D off.
Yeah.
Like, the 3DS itself, without the 3D, is a nice system. The graphics are really nice. we haven't seen what it can do yet, but it probably do a lot better than it can now. There's going to be some impressive graphics, things 3DS can do, besides 3D.
Yeah.
And so 3D is not a must. Like
Yeah.
there's not going to be any games that you absolutely need to use 3D or it ruin the whole game.
Yeah.
And Nintendo said that themselves. Like
Yeah.
Miyamoto said during E3 that people asked him about it, and he's like, "You don't have to play the whole time, but like if you know, like he used Ocarina of Time, if you know there's a cutscene that made 3D, turn it on and then turn it back off."
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting. People always talk about, well, once the Vita comes out, the 3DS won't sell, or vice versa. They all sell. It comes down to, I think, it doesn't matter what system Nintendo games are on. The games are going to sell well, and
Mario
they're going to
Kart.
sell well. The systems are going to
The
sell.
next Smash Brothers that comes out, it's going to.
So if they have another GameCube fiasco, sure, it's not going to sell well, but it will sell to the point because their games are that good.
Yeah.
It's like if Nintendo keeps doing what they're doing game-wise, their systems will be fine.
I know a ton of people who aren't Nintendo fans, but they own a Wii just for one game,
Exactly. It's usually a Nintendo game.
and it's Smash Brothers.
So, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And so a lot of people would just buy the 3DS. Let's say if Smash Bros. Comes out a year and a half from now, the 3DS drops to $200.
Yeah.
A lot of people can just get $200 to play Smash Brothers online on 3DS. That's enough for people to sell even more systems.
Yeah. Well, and I could see the 3DS dropping to $200 or $199, in the next year, and staying at that price point for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I think they're thinking they could, charge that much, get quite a few people, and then at some point drop it, maybe in anticipation of the Vita, and that's a sweet spot where everyone just buys it up.
Exactly. Because people right now, it's more than a Wii right now. Or when then the Wii U comes out.
Yeah.
They say they drop it to $200, and Wii U, let's say, is $350, which I think it's going to be. That would be a good difference in price.
Real quick, since we're just talking about the Wii U, do you think there's been a lot of rumors that the next Xbox, next PlayStation is moving up forward because of the Wii U announcement coming out next year?
I heard that.
Think that's true or not?
I do. I honestly believe it.
So you think 2013?
I think Microsoft may push for it. One of them's going to push for late next year.
You think late 2012?
I think one of them will.
Even though they haven't announced anything or showed anything. So you're thinking of a reveal maybe late this year, early next year? Interesting.
Because the two companies that could pull it off. See, Nintendo, we got to think Nintendo doesn't have as much backing as, Microsoft. Or Sony does. 'Cause Sony and Microsoft have other things. They're freaking Microsoft and Sony, TVs and all that crap. And so they can push things quicker and pay more to get things done quicker than Nintendo can.
I could see Sony pulling it off. Microsoft.
Because when it sucks.
Well, no, I wasn't saying that. I was thinking the whole Red Ring of Death and
that's true.
stuff like that.
But I don't think some Sony person hinted at this, is that it's not going to be as big of a jump. And I think the Wii U will be fine.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. People are like, well, if the next system comes out, the Wii U, well, look at the Wii. The Wii looked like crap, no offense, compared to the PS3, but yet it sold 80-something million.
I think there could possibly the next 720 or PS4 come out. One of them may be more powerful, but I think it would be to the point where we're not going to be able to tell that much.
Yeah. Well, and the maybe more stuff, more assets or whatever on screen or better AI. Like, Nintendo will sell well.
Yeah.
The only question will be, will they blatantly rip off the Wii U tablet?
Exactly. But I think they're going to go more casual. Like, both of them, I think that both of them are going down that casual. Like, I don't think 360, Microsoft's going to get rid of Kinect.
You think they'll Kinect 2.0 for
Kinect will be 2.0 or something be more integrated into it. Move will be more integrated. Sony even said themselves that it's going to be more, I think they said basically girl-friendly. They get more female gamers into there. And they said that it's not going to be as big as a jump. Which
I can't.
That can't be.
Price point.
And even if there is a difference, it could be the difference between the 360 and PS3. Like, there's obviously no difference in it. So, like, the PS3, you can have maybe a little bit of smoke or a little more stuff on screen, but it's not enough that merely changes drastically.
Yeah. Well, and people always talk about it's easier to develop for the 360, and that's why the port always goes to PS3.
Exactly. And then they're saying that, some developers have read that, saying that the Wii U handles like the 360. Like, it's as easy to develop as like the 360. Like, it's not difficult to develop for.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to make, if all systems are somewhat equal, you're gonna make it for the lowest. Like they make it,
Yeah.
they build it for the 360 and then port it over to PS3 and maybe add a little more to it if sometimes.
Yeah.
So they'll build it for, let's say, the Wii U and then port it over to everything else.
That would be great. And I think another thing that may hurt the Wii U, which in the end I don't think it hurt, is we have the Wii U tablet, which is awesome, but are they going to do an update for the Wii controller, like Wii Motion Plus? Because they say we can use the Wii Motion Plus on the Wii U, but I would still like them to take that to the next level, introduce something even more precise,
Exactly.
even more something where you don't have to recalibrate every time. I don't even know if
And
something
get rid of
exists.
the infrared
Sensor bar?
sensor bar. That's infrared's so old school.
Yeah. And for the love of all things, at least for controllers, have where I can plug it into the system and recharge the battery or something.
Exactly. They have to.
I think there's still a lot of surprises we don't know about the Wii U. My only question is when we're going to hear about it, and if the system's going to come out in summer or fall, or if it is going to be a winter 2012.
Exactly.
And I pray that the whole fiasco with third-party games on 3DS doesn't happen with the Wii U, because that sizzle reel or whatever for 3DS with all those logos and everything and gameplay was awesome. But I have yet to see half of those come to fruition. And the Wii U had some pretty cool stuff. I mean, Metro Last Light, Arkham City, are all going to be great.
Well, which one are you most excited about out of all the Wii U games we've... Well, I guess there hasn't been actually any Wii U games,
third party
or anything that's coming to
Well,
Wii U.
it would be Arkham City, except that I'll
Yeah.
probably get Arkham City in October.
Well, there's that, what is that? Super Freaks from Outer Space, or
Oh yeah,
from Ubisoft?
what is that game?
Something Freaks from Outer Space.
Yeah. Anyways, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is that called? Killer Freaks.
Killer Freaks from Outer Space. See, we don't remember everything that we know ourselves.
Yeah.
Killer Freaks from Outer Space. That's an original. That looks really good.
That looks cool. And the idea of the enemy spawning and
Mhm.
attacking, that looks like a lot of
That looks really cool.
pretty interesting stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff, but like the
I think that's what I'm most excited about. Because it's the only one, like you said, Ocarina of Time, I'm going to play before.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
We're talking about Ocarina of Time.
I'm talking about Batman Arkham Asylum.
I'm sorry. You threw me out with you and Zelda.
We've been editing all afternoon. Anyways, Ocarina of
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham City. Arkham City coming out. I'm already going to get it for the 360 and play it before it even.
Yeah. And even Ghost Recon Online, it's going to be awesome for the Wii U. But if that's coming out in the next few months on PC,
Is that free on PC?
yeah, it was. Unless there's some great content,
Exactly.
people aren't going to. I'm sorry, but people aren't going to get excited about a game that's several months, even close to a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Nintendo's going to have a hard time. They need to make the launch at the right time, like Darksiders 2. I'm not sure what release date that is, but I hope that goes out around the same time.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo, because they promised all these games, they really need to release it earlier than later.
Absolutely.
Within the first half. Because later, they're definitely like, that's going to be, when is Arkham City supposed to come out?
October 17th.
Yeah, and so it'll be a year or plus after the game already comes out, and no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, no. And you know, maybe we'll get a few sales into the Game of the Year editions, new map packs, new costume, but still, like...
But if they come out in March, that's enough where people may not always buy it.
No.
Because by the time it's going to drop down to $30, you'll probably be able to get the game by $30 by summer. And so who's going to...
Yeah, unless there's some killer content, people are just going to buy it.
Mm-hmm. So. Exactly.
But I'm hoping for a July release date. I know that's crazy in the summer. Maybe August. Mm-hmm. But then E3 is just a... No, because even E3 won't work. Because when are they going to show all the games for lineup? Are they going to have another summit in, like, March? They almost have to, because we know no launch games.
Yeah.
Like, Killer Freaks is there, but we don't know if that's a launch game.
Yeah. Well, if they can do that, they can hopefully have it carry... They can be open to be carried by third parties. And make it... First, it does two things. First of all, it gives them more time to develop. And it makes them... Gives the perception that they are supporting third parties. And say they release it. And... Hopes of all hopes, only Pikmin's the only Nintendo launch title.
Yeah.
And then you have Arkham City, and then you have...
Killer Freaks, if that is.
Killer Freaks, or that one game you just mentioned.
Ghost Recon?
No. Darksiders.
Darksiders 2.
Yeah, and so if you have all those, that would be enough to carry it for
Yeah.
another couple of months while they develop other things.
But Nintendo has got to have, whether it's Pikmin, if Pikmin is a great game, hardcore. I consider Pikmin, even though it's different type of strategy, I consider that hardcore, like 11 game.
Mhm.
They have to have something for launch.
Exactly.
Because if they don't, especially if it comes out during the summer, that's what I think 3DS is kind of hard. It hasn't had a Christmas season yet.
Yeah.
And so it didn't have that push,
And 3DS didn't have any. It was again 3DS didn't have any major launch titles for it either.
Yeah. And Steel Diver was way too short of a game.
Yeah. And what did I buy? I bought Street Fighter and the Tin Dogs. Street Fighter I haven't played much. Tin Dogs I pick up every once in a while. And
Yeah. Although I beat the crap out of Pilot Wings, it took me like 16 hours.
wow, really?
So it's a lot of game, but it's still like,
There hasn't been that major.
If
It wasn't
there's
that
no-
major.
yeah. But I just have to say this about Pilot. If there's another game that stars at frickin' Woohoo Island or whatever, I would be so flippin' pissed. I know every inch of that island. I'm so sick of it, man.
Is it the exact same island that's in Wii Sports Center?
Exact same.
So it has you can go up the volcano. and
Everything is the exact. I mean, there's a few things that I did, but 95%.
It's like,
No, it's very lame.
so basically, they just kind of ported it from Wii Sports Resort.
Yep. No, that's exactly what it is. Miyamoto's like, it's a character in itself. Yeah, sure, but like, I don't want to play something where I play the airplane mode of Wii Sports Resort. I don't want to play it again.
Yeah, exactly. That is good. So I have one more thing I want to talk about. What games have you been playing? It has to be Nintendo games. What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Ocarina of Time. I'm at the Shadow Temple. I've been taking my sweet time because I want to savor it. I've actually played a little Red Dead Redemption. Have you played? Do you ever play that game?
I have it. I played it a little bit at the beginning. Yeah,
I just got to Mexico. It's a lot of fun.
man, that's a massive game.
Yeah, that's a game.
Too.
I hope if there's a second, or I guess third, because Red Dead Revolver, then Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
If there's another one, I hope it's on the Wii U. And I played a little bit of Resident Evil Mercenaries, but that game kind of gets boring after a while. I beat everything in about a week and a half, and then there's not much incentive to play back. But, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Ocarina of Time, but not as fast as I thought I would because I'm the type of person I don't like doing things twice. Like, it has to be a very, very good movie for me to see it twice. I don't read books twice. I don't play games twice because once you know what happens, it kind of takes away. Even though Ocarina of Time is a great game, it's almost a new experience, even though I'm kind of contradicting my review for it. It seems like a brand new game.
Yeah.
It's still like I've done this before, and so I'm not going through it as fast as I want to. I've been playing a lot of LA Noire.
Oh, nice.
It started out fantastic, but then, like, any games like that, especially from Rockstar, things get kind of redundant. You do basically the same thing. Even though it's different cases,
Yeah.
you do the same thing basically in each case to solve the case. And then I'm at the part where it's almost in every of these massive games where you gotta search for something, items, or something. I don't want to give away in the game.
Okay, it's like,
it doesn't make sense.
Like, yeah.
There's a part where you gotta search for these things, and it's I don't feel like searching for things. And then recently, because of the NFL being back, I've been playing a lot of Madden again, getting my skills up for the next Madden,
Lame.
and watching a lot of Dexter.
Dexter, yes. I
That's
just
what I've been doing.
finished watching season 4.
It's good.
It's awesome.
And talking about playing Epic Mickey, finishing that up.
Yes, you guys should play that if you haven't.
Oh, Twilight Princess I picked up.
You start playing Toast
Actually, it was my girlfriend wanted to play. This
Oh.
past Sunday. I was like, I want to play some games. She's like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I want to play something together. And I was thinking Mario Kart or Mario Brothers Wii. And she's like, oh, let's play a Zelda game.
Because by together, she means you watching her.
I was like, it kind of took me back. I was like, you want to play a Zelda game? She's not that. She likes video games, but she's not that into it. And I was like, it's only one person. I was like, we can figure out something together. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. And then I grab it and I sit down next to it and I go, this is going to be an epic long term. There's a reason I haven't played it in 5 years because I'm still exhausted from it.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's fine. And so we played it for 2 or 3 hours Sunday. She played it mostly. And
I feel like she's a keeper, James.
it's weird watching someone who's never played a Zelda game before. Because, it's easier for us because we know, a lot of Zelda games the idea is the same. Like,
Yeah.
you need to talk to everyone. you know where to find rubies, you know where to go. You kind of have an idea of how the game is.
Yeah, and where like there's going to be secrets, what ledges you can jump and what you can't.
Yeah, you know to pay attention to things. Like, you know, in the first part of Twilight Princess, the whole cat, you had to get the cat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like I kind of led her to like, hey, you need to, but she was sort of lost of what to do because in her mind, she couldn't figure out. Not that she's dumb, but she just can't figure out because there's a Zelda game that you need to talk to people, you need to look around and like interact with things and see how things tie together.
There's certain visual cues that you have to be looking for,
especially like the highlighted words when you talk to people and stuff. So it's a little different seeing someone that's ever played a Zelda game go through a Zelda game. I guess Twilight Princess is probably the wrong Zelda game to start with.
Well,
Wind Waker's probably the best, but
which that needs to come out for the 3DS.
That'd be perfect for 3DS.
And so does Majora's Mask.
Yes.
Every game needs to come out for the 3DS.
Every game from GameCube down.
Any game, yes.
3DS. But I guess that's our first of hopefully mini podcasts to come.
Definitely.
Kevin and I will be in it, and hopefully we'll bring some other people in throughout the time.
That'll be exciting.
We got Leo. We would bring Justin in. Maybe we'll bring him as one of those floating heads on another computer, but he's married and he's doing his own married stuff now.
I like his own married stuff.
But we have Leo.
And he just got married, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Congrats.
Pretty sure, hopefully you guys saw the cake. It was pretty awesome.
It was.
And then there's Leo.
3-0.
3-0. Baller. And then we have a new guy I just met. You need to meet him. Jesse.
I need to meet him.
You need to meet him. Jesse Rubenmacher. I don't know his last name. Anyways, he's a game developer.
Cool.
And I don't know how much he wants me to divulge, but he worked on some pretty big games, and so hopefully we can get him in here. It's nice to talk to him and his perspective. I met him last week and talked about the Wii U, and just because it's a different perspective, something I never think of because he actually was a game developer, he still does a little bit. So maybe we can get him show up and talk, and so that would be cool.
Or maybe just sit there and watch.
Sit there and watch. We should have someone sit back there and
dance a little bit in the background.
Like the Tom Green show.
Yes.
That's a great show. They had the guy in the back just had their drinking.
Hey, quick note. Have you ever heard of planking? Where people lay flat? Yes. Well, he claims he started that.
Tom Green?
He said on one of his shows, in some Canada show or something, he did this thing, it's called The Dead Man, where he would do that. And now it's gotten popular. And also there's this thing called the Owl, where you perch yourself on like tables and stuff like an owl and you take pictures.